It's 19 hours GMT. Hello and welcome to News 360 from the News Hub here in Accra. I am Issa Moni.
And I am Portia Gabo. Coming up with the headlines.
News 360 Headlines is brought to you by Deluxe Paint, Heaven Black Mosquito Coil and Spray,
Calipo, and Nido Fortigro. Your love, their future.
Coming up, former Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Paul Akwa, named Chair of the Fiscal Council.
And also coming up, we revisit woman who gave birth to a baby girl 12 years after trying to get pregnant.
In Mission, poor road linking Oku to Ejura, hampering effective healthcare delivery.
On the foreign front, Theresa May warns the UK faces uncharted territory if Parliament rejects her Brexit deal.
We have all the details, including sports and entertainment, coming up this hour. Stay with us as we begin with our stories tonight. Now, after the humiliation and pain and stigma of Mary Kwashi, she has now turned all those difficulties into a joy after giving birth to a baby girl 12 years after trying to get pregnant. Isibinwa Otu visited Mary and her baby at home after a successful IVF procedure last year.
I decided to call her Ikea the first time we met, and it was to hide her identity. That was the first time we met at the All Faith Medical Center, and exactly that was where she was delivered of her first child. Though excited about her pregnancy at the time, she could not show her face because of the stigma associated with infertility. But the story is different now.
In the first place, I'm no more known as a barren person. I now have a baby, and which has made me happy, and those around me too happy. The way some relate to me shows that maybe they are happy or they are not happy for me.
Mary Kwashi, her real name, expressed how excited she is about her new baby.
When I have to go somewhere, maybe I leave here and run very fast and then come back, because I don't want her to cry plenty.
She recounts one of the experiences of a new mother.
Going to weigh, my first time was that supposed to be 26. But because of the holidays, a cousin of mine told me they might not be working. But I said, oh, let me go and find out from the clinic and see whether they're working. Unfortunately for me, when I got there, they were there. So I told them, I have a baby and we are 6 weeks today. They said, go and bring her, we are here. So I ran very, very fast. I mean, pick a taxi. From the rolling circle to here, I picked a taxi, came to pick her, then we went for the weighing.
The baby's uncle, Robert Iao Srokode, is equally excited about the birth of the baby, which he said has brought so much joy to the family.
We've been waiting. And for every woman at a stage in life, you need to have your own baby. And we really struggle to have our little kids, so we are very excited, very excited.
The burden society places on women are varied. For Mary, the next worry is combining work with caring for her baby when she resumes.
If I should, hold on work, where will I get the money from to take care of her? Yes, so I need to work as well. I'm thinking of how best I can organize myself when I resume work.
Mary Kwashi tells me she plans on giving birth to 2 more children.
And technology is enhancing couples' chances of having children. The assisted reproductive technology plays a key role in the treatment of infertility, which includes handling both a woman's egg and a man's sperm. Another report by Isibinwa Otu.
Available data indicates that at least 50 million couples worldwide experience infertility. The most common techniques involved with assisted reproductive technology, ART, includes IVF, artificial insemination, intracytoplasmic sperm injection (ICSIs), and pre-implantation genetic diagnosis (PGD). These technologies have put smiles on the faces of many who hitherto were unable to have children. Ekua is one of such women who have benefited from IVF technology. Fertility expert and medical director of Accra Fertility Center, Dr. Nana Henekulabi, says surgeries on women with blocked tubes are over due to technology.
We have a blocked tube. We used to operate when we were young doctors, but nowadays we don't. So there is this IVF. If you have the tubes, the egg, the womb, everything is okay, but for some reason you are not getting pregnant, there are some conditions like endometriosis and things, we tend to improve the egg production.
A particular type of treatment may be suggested or recommended depending on the cause of infertility.
For some reason, the husband is so weak with the sperm, so we have IVF, outside the body fertilization. Mix up the sperm, and then they keep on watching to see if the baby is made, and take the best out of it and place into the womb around the 5th day that we have fertilized the baby.
He warned against the wearing of tight pants, adding that this generates heat which kills sperms.
You look at a man and a goat or a sheep, for instance. We all have our balls hanging outside. But what happens with men? We are all wrapped up wearing tight clothes and all that. It goes against fertility.
For women, Dr. Henekulabi advised their partners to clean up before sexual intercourse. This, he says, prevents infections.
Always, you, the woman, insist your husband has a proper wash down around at least the perineal area to remove, because sweat and dirt and all that straight after work jump onto your wife, you are introducing infection.
Structures housing drug peddlers around the Winneba prison have been demolished. This comes weeks after TV3's report on open defecation and drug peddling around the facility. Our reporter Lucy Ayambila visited the place and has come through with an update.
The Winneba local prison in the central region serves about 34 law courts in its catchment area. The facility, located right in the Winneba or Simpa community, receives inmates from 2 prison camps, namely Awutu and Osamkrom prison camps. Right beside it was a drinking spot and a wooding structure where trading of drugs took place. According to management, peddlers sometimes sneaked to put some hard drugs into the prison yard for the inmates. After TV3's report on the trading of drugs around the facility, the Ofutu Municipal Assembly and the prison authorities have put in place a 24-hour security check around the facility.
The place also being declared the security zone, nobody passes through here. I will thank the TV3 as a media partner for playing a vital role in declaring this place a security zone.
Structures accommodating peddlers have all been demolished, bringing sanity to the area. The facility over the years has been confronted with open defecation due to its proximity to the beach. For many years, staff and inmates of the Winneba prison have had to endure the dangers open defecation poses. Numerous campaigns to tackle the menace have not had the desired results.
I would like to use this opportunity to ascribe my profound gratitude to TV3. Defecating around the prison is no more. Now you can see that sanitation around the prison has improved.
The staff officer at the Winneba prison, Deputy Superintendent of Prisons Alexander Otube-Quinn, was grateful to TV3 for exposing their plight.
About a month ago, when I visited here, the whole place was scattered with human excreta. and the air was filled with pungent smell. But today, the story is different. And this is a positive sign. Lucy Ayambila, TV3 News, Simpa.
A 44-year-old police officer with service number 34586 is reported to have shot himself with an AK-47 rifle. Sergeant Emmanuel Amade had booked the weapon for official duties. The police officer reportedly shot himself to death in his room at the Nungwa Police Barracks in Accra in the early hours of Sunday. Confirming the incident, the wife of the deceased said Sergeant Amade woke up from sleep suddenly and reached out to his rifle. She said her husband then asked her and the children to leave the room or he would kill them. The wife maintained she rushed out of the room to draw the attention of neighbors. However, before they returned, Sergeant Emmanuel Amade had shot himself at the throat. The reason for his action is not yet known.
You're watching News 360, and up next is the weather update. You're watching News 360 on TV3. Still to come tonight. Poor road linking Oku to Ejura hampering effective healthcare delivery.
On the foreign front, Theresa May warns the UK faces uncharted territory if Parliament rejects her Brexit deal.
We'll return shortly with Mission. Stay with us.
Hello again, it's now time for Mission, and Mission is brought to us by Star Ghana with support from Danida, UK Aid and the EU. The poor road linking Oku to Ejura, a community in the Central District, is hampering effective healthcare delivery. Healthcare workers struggle daily to save lives, particularly during the rainy season. Bright Nana Amfo reports efforts are underway to fix the struggles of healthcare workers and residents.
The journey to Oku, stressful and dehumanizing. That's how many residents put it. The road condition is terrible.
Presently, we have about 375 road networks. The total road net of such a center is about 375 kilometers. Out of the 375 kilometers, it's about 115 are engineered. About 245 kilometers are unengineered. So you can just imagine the disparity between the two areas. Even the engineered roads, at the least instance of rains, it's very, very difficult to assess, in fact, those roads. It's very, very bad.
Health delivery is a pain.
If you want to go to Uku, driving in a pickup or in a four-wheel drive vehicle, non-stop, you spend more than 3 hours driving. In the first place, it is very far from here, and the road is hugely bad.
3 key health facilities are located on this stretch: Brim, Esubuaso, and Oku health centers.
During the raining season, virtually the 2 places are cut off. Brim Health Center is cut off. So those beyond the river cannot come over here, and we cannot also go there.
This is a headache for healthcare givers. It is a dangerous journey in case of referring patients to health centers. A healthcare giver told in Akan the harrowing experience of a pregnant woman who nearly lost her life because of the bad condition of the road. It is a deadly situation during the rainy season. One can travel here, but on dangerous means. Yet, sick people have to risk their lives to travel on this dangerous road. Sometimes, residents are stranded for days when the rains are heavy. Oku is distressed. Residents feel not part of the country.
This is the most dangerous part of the journey from Oku to Ejura and beyond. Now, these people could spend just about some 45 minutes to Nsuta if they use the other side of the road. But because of the bad nature of the road, they have to go through Ejura before going into Nsuta. Pregnant women, sometimes we are told, get here and they are unable to cross. They'll have to wait for the water to go down before. Vehicles simply cannot cross, making life very difficult for the people who live here. They have made several efforts to get this road done, but have achieved nothing in terms of fixing the trouble they go through here.
A driver told me in Nakan, a 30-minute journey takes 3 hours. Even here, passengers would have to get down and walk intermittently in the course of the journey due to the poor road.
Passengers will have to get down and walk when we get to the bad portions of the road. It is a terrible journey.
Residents said they struggle to travel by carrying motorbikes across the river when it is flooded. Some told me in some cases tractors can't even cross during heavy rains.
Even tractors can't cross, and so they offload goods for other trucks on the other side of the stream. This is a headache.
The district health service, in attempt at providing healthcare, is devising means to care for those cut off.
The challenges are very huge during the peak of the raining season. And so we make sure that before the raining season, we resource these facilities with medicines, with non-drug consumables, with other logistics that they need, so that when we are not able to go there, they can actually fall on those resources that they have to be able to deliver. And again, because we don't have roads linking these communities, we mostly use motorbikes. These are footpaths that are sometimes even very difficult to use.
The assembly says the poor condition of the road is due to neglect for years. The district is, however, hopeful central government is working at improving roads in the area.
In line with that, the assembly approved that we want to have ourselves a grader come 2019. That was approved for. And so most of the villages, the small towns that will have issues on road where productions, food productions are done, we want to take care of those areas. But the government has given us these areas that I think that is plausible, that we need to thank the president for being merciful to us as a people since 1994. The last one was done somewhere in 2006, since then no road has been touched. It is disheartening to go to the highway authority in the region to realize that even our district was not part of the regional map.
For the district, no effort can achieve improvement in the road network except central government steps in.
We've also been blessed to have our Nsuta, Kwama, and Biposo, the 3 paramount towns, also been approved. So we believe that the inner roads or town roads also be worked on. As we talk now, Biposo has been started. Kwama too, they also started on it. And the information regime means that the one at Insuta will start before the year gets to an end. There's going to be a link between Insuta and Biposo, Insuta and Kwamai. Now the very rugged ones that we have is between Ohima Dida to Jediako and Brim, and then Ankamadua to Nkujua Framso. And then the areas are Bonkwayim where they are doing a lot of farms.
With a population of about 85,000 and an economy that depends on improved road network, Setra Central's hope is that central government will quickly come in and save the situation. Bright Nanafo, TV3, Oku.
Still in the Ashanti region, inadequate infrastructure is a major challenge hindering development of Bankomine Senior High School in the Setre Kumewu district. There are no dormitories for students on the compound, compelling them to use a community center as well as an old Presby school block. Bright Nana Amfo reports controlling students is a problem.
They trek daily to school and back. Only about 360 students of a school's population of about 1,800 stay on the compound. The rest stay in town. The district has about 5 senior high schools. Infrastructure is a headache.
In terms of infrastructure, at the basic level, we are okay. But when it comes to the second cycle, that is where the problem is. Yeah, I have 2 big schools. For Chunibuya Kodia, though there's a problem, we don't have much of a problem. But Dadiasi is where the problem. But my major problem with the infrastructure is with Bankomine, which is also a very fast-growing school. So, in fact, within 1 to 2 years, if we are not able to provide a number of classrooms for them, it will be a challenge.
Bankomine Senior High School is unlucky. Some students sleep uncomfortably. The town's community center has been converted into a dormitory for girls. They do everything virtually in the open. Supervision is poor, not because school authorities are unable to or up to, but they are challenged in protecting these young ones.
We have a tough time controlling our students since they are staying in town. And then it's not as if we, the house mistresses, are staying with them at the dormitories. We have our own rented apartments in town, and then we will have to come from our rooms, our houses, to see the students and then control them. Just when we leave, students are out there doing their own thing. We have prefects there who will control the students in the absence of teachers. But then how much can students do?
Though sent to school to acquire education, the school authorities say it is a huge burden ensuring the girls in particular are safe from the preying eyes of men and boys.
This semester alone, we have a number of them going home to deliver, and then they will come back to write their exams. And I think it's because they don't have the total control of teachers. As soon as teachers are away, they do whatever they want to do. So we have a lot of them getting pregnant. So far, what we know, we have about 5.
Yes, we have encountered some before. I remember last academic year, there was this girl who got pregnant when it was about time to write the WASI. But the pregnancy did not originate from town.
While sweating to keep the girls under control, the boys also present another challenge to school authorities.
Seldomly you see them in town, roaming in the streets, and then we keep getting reports from town that your boys are here, your boys are there. In fact, it has been a great challenge.
The Presby Church gave its old school block for use as a dormitory. This is what the boys have as a sleeping place. It is also located in town. It is a headache school authorities simply can't find answers to. Some efforts, however, have been made to salvage the situation, but it is too little. The PTA is the key stakeholder in this. Their meager incomes are going into building infrastructure for the school.
The PTA at the moment is also constructing a dormitory block. Actually, it's meant for the boys. It's a 3-unit dormitory block, and it is nearing completion. Virtually, they have completed the project, but then we will have to construct a bathhouse and attached to the dormitory block before students can be moved in.
The Education Service says the Assembly is putting in all efforts to improve facilities for schools.
We get a response, but you see, it is the amount of money that is given to the assemblies. So we outline the projects. You know, there are 7 education, there are 7 health, there are 7 agric, etc., etc. But I think I have to praise the assemblies because the chunk of the money actually goes to education. So you see a lot of our projects being carried. Though it is not sufficient, but if you compare to other sectors, you see that, you know, they want to satisfy education.
The school is one of the prominent schools in the district, and the Assembly is working hard at improving infrastructure.
Specifically, our mandate is with the basic. However, we cannot also say that we will not support the senior high schools, especially this very free senior high school that was introduced by His Excellency comes with some challenges. So what we did was that, if you take Bankomai, for example, there is a gentleman called Kwatin who is operating Moda Pest Company. We have been able to convince him, and he's going to put up a dormitory for them. And then also, we also sent in a request, and let me use your platform to commend the Honorable Dambochi. He also came in to support us with 100 bags of cement. And then also FFanto also came in to support us. We, the District Assembly, also supported them with 100 bags of cement, of which they are going to use to complete the other dormitories.
To further protect the girls, the Assembly has plans to move them to the compound.
Some of the girls stays in the town. We want to move all of them by the middle of the year. So that was what informed us not to just admit huge numbers. And then we also wrote to them not to let them be part of the double track, so that we will be able to manage the situation until we improve the infrastructure in there.
The school has just been moved from a Category D to a Category A school. School authorities want to use this as an incentive to produce outstanding students. But inadequate infrastructure is a huge setback. Next on Mission, we'll tell you the second part of the Bankoman Senior High School story and the efforts of PTA and individuals in speeding up the development of infrastructure for a school. Bright Nananfo, TV3, Banco.
You're watching Mission on News 360. The Setre Central District is striving at improving education. One of its senior high schools, Kwaman Presby, is receiving prompt attention to deal with infrastructure challenges. A 3-kilometer road linking the school to the community is being developed. Bright Nana Amfo again reports it will help transport 6 students quickly to health facilities.
Kwaman is one of the prominent towns in the district. Its senior high school, the Kwaman Presby Senior High School, started several years ago and has seen some development.
When Kwame Nkrumah made the dam at Akosombo, the dam affected the lands of, or part of the lands of Kwamai traditional area. So the government decided to compensate the traditional people. And when the chief had his share of the compensation, he decided to establish a school.
Some 10 years ago, these structures were not here.
They were having problem with accommodation, so the Presbyterian Church came in to offer help. And since the school was being conducted in the Presbyterian Church premises, they decided to take over in agreement with the chief. So they handed over the school to the Presbyterian Church.
Today, the school boasts of giant structures courtesy the GET Fund, the PTA, a church, and private individuals. With over 1,000 students, the school faces some challenges.
The way we want to establish the school, I want the school to get to. We haven't gone half of it. So we need additional classrooms, boys' dormitories, girls' dormitory. And then we could see that the school is not near town. So I need some of my staff to be accommodated here.
Teacher accommodation is a headache here. A major challenge facing the school is how to attend to students who fell sick while in school. A road linking the school to the main town is in a bad state. This is inconveniencing.
And we also don't have infirmary. So you see that because we don't have accessible road to town, and somebody falls sick, you could see the problems we face. So we need all these things.
This is what the Central District Assembly has resolved to quickly fix. A 3-kilometer road linking the school to the community has started. This is expected to be completed soon.
Currently, it's only the headmistress who has accommodation here, and all the teachers trek from town to school. Sometimes, if it rains, you look at the muddy nature of the road and the way teachers have to struggle to get to school. If we can get accommodation for them here, I believe it will help it very much.
A huge dining hall complex is under construction. This will ease the burden of school authorities. Gathering students at one place for programs was a challenge. In some instances, students had to eat in tents. All this will soon be over with the completion of the dining hall complex. The school, which now offers all the courses under the senior high school system, is showing great potential. Students have shown that given the opportunity, they can achieve great strides in education. School authorities say their aim is to develop the school to rub shoulders with grade A schools across the country. Bright Nananfo, TV3, Kwamai.
And as it's for Mission, and Mission is brought to you by Star Ghana with funding from Danida, UK Aid and the EU. Thanks so much for watching.
Hello again. Let's do some more news on News 360. A former governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Paul Akwa, has been named as chair of the Fiscal Council. Government passed the Fiscal Responsibility Act to anchor fiscal discipline and ensure prudence in the management of the economy.
The Fiscal Responsibility Act establishes both the Fiscal Council and the Financial Stability Council. It became necessary in order to avert the possibilities of getting back into the path of fiscal slippages, which caused the country to seek policy credibility from the IMF in 2015 through the Extended Credit Facility, EFC. The Fiscal Council will, amongst other responsibilities, develop and recommend policies for the maintenance of prudent and sustainable levels of public debt. It will also ensure that the fiscal balance is maintained at a sustainable level and the management of fiscal risk in a prudent manner to achieve efficiency, effectiveness, and value for money in public expenditure. The Fiscal Council will also monitor the performance of the government budget with regards to compliance with fiscal rules and targets. These targets include a budget deficit of not more than 5% of GDP as provided by law, a positive primary balance as provided by law, and a debt to GDP ratio of not more than 65% of gross domestic product. Ghana becomes the only country in sub-Saharan Africa to establish a fiscal council. Former governor of the central bank, Dr. Paul Akwa, is the chairman. Other members of Ghana's Fiscal Council are Professor Eugenia Ampofu, Dr. Ni Noi Ashon, Professor Augustine Fosu, Dr. Ni Kwakusowa, Professor Robert Osei, and Ali Nachia. Meanwhile, to enhance the stability and soundness of the financial system, President Akufo-Addo has by executive instrument established a Financial Stability Council. The role of the Financial Stability Council is to, amongst others, strengthen and reinforce the stability of the financial sector and supervision of the financial entities in Ghana. The Financial Stability Council will comprise the Governor of the Bank of Ghana as Chairman, Deputy Governor, Deputy Minister of Finance, CEO of the National Insurance Commission, Director General of the Securities and Exchange Commission. The rest are CEO of the National Pensions Regulatory Commission, the CEO of the Ghana Deposit Protection Corporation. Ghana is the second country in sub-Saharan Africa to establish a Financial Stability Council after Mauritius.
Let's go to the Central Region, where the unavailability of workshops to train inmates at the Winneba local prison remains a major concern to authorities. They have called for support to establish training workshops for inmates.
The building housing the Winneba local prison is over 200 years old. It was among the few castles and forts that were converted into prisons during the colonial era. The facility has not seen any facelift since its inception. The prison has not been able to achieve its goal of providing the requisite skills to the inmates to enable them acquire jobs after they have been discharged. This has been attributed to the lack of space and funds to establish workshops. Management has called for support to improve facilities at the prison.
We need a lot to improve the system, to rehabilitate our dear inmates. Therefore, I'll be very glad if corporate body, civil society, philanthropists can come to our aid.
Speaking at a Thanksgiving service, the Deputy Director of Prisons, Dominic Nicholas Arthur, said the station has collaborated with the Church of Pentecost to go into pineapple and pawpaw production. This, he noted, is part of efforts to promote rehabilitation and provide basic skills to the inmates. The Abasraba district pastor of the Church of Pentecost, Pastor Gabriel Siam, admonished Ghanaians to show love to one another.
And this segment tonight, Ghana is set to present its first national pavilion at the 58th Venice International Art Biennial, a contemporary visual art exhibition. The project will afford Ghana a high degree of exposure.
The Venice Arts Biennale is the oldest and most prestigious exhibition internationally. It was opened on April 30, 1895 in the city of Venice. In the first decades of the 20th century, the event became increasingly international, with several countries installing national pavilions. Ghana will make her first appearance at the 58th edition of the International Art Exhibition, which will take place from 11th May to 24th November. The pavilion will feature works by some distinctive artists within the country and in the diasporas. Catherine Afeku, who hosted some members from the diaspora at historic Osu Castle, was excited about opportunities this will provide.
Arts, culture, tourism is the soul of a nation. And with our entry, our maiden entry to Venice Biennale, I will humbly say, under the leadership of His Excellency, Nana Addo Akufo-Addo, we have arrived.
Wife of the Vice President Samira Bawumia encouraged young artists to take the opportunity to showcase their works to the world.
I am excited that Nana, Sir David, the minister, the whole government machinery is supporting an effort such as this to sort of push Ghanaian arts and culture to the world. To the young artists, Ghana is on the rise. Ghana is moving, and come along and let's join the ride and let's make it happen.
The National Pavilion of Arts is a significant moment in Ghana's history.
Probably they could have invited us to that. Is it Venice Biennale 2019? We could have covered it and make a little money for TV. Thanks for watching News 360 tonight. My name is Hisa Moni.
And I am Portia Gabok.